Looking back, 1764, a peek into the past. Winter in 1764. Painted hide bags called parfleches held dry food for winter. But by a secular while, the time when trees drop their leaves and cold and snow come to the high country, most traveling, trading, fishing, and food gathering slowed down. It was a quiet time for being inside, warm and close with family and friends, while rivers froze and thick snow blanketed the land. In winter, there was plenty of time for making and mending all the beautiful, useful clothing and tools Nez Perce needed all year round. Men and boys made ropes from horsehair, wove hemp into nets for fishing, whittled sticks to make arrows, and chipped stones to make sharp arrowheads. They glued feathers to the ends of their arrows to help them fly swift and straight. Girls and women twined the fibers of bear grass and hemp into cord, and then wove the cord into bags and hats. They used berry or root stains to create beautiful patterns. With sharp bow needles and thread of sinews, they stitched animal hides into new moccasins, shirts, leggings, and dresses for their families. It took 2 deer hides to make one dress, and Nez Perce women often kept a deer's tail as a decorative detail on the front of their dresses. Clothing was also adorned with shells, beads, and colored porcupine quills. Girls and women softened the quills by soaking them. Then they flattened the quills and sewed them onto animal hides. Buffalo bladder pouches for storing porcupine quills. Elk teeth were the most prized adornments of all. Only the 2 front teeth of an elk were used to decorate clothing. If a woman or girl had many elk teeth sewn on her dress, it meant she had a powerful husband in her family. Elk teeth, long white dentalium shells, and lots of bends decorate this dress from the 1850s. In Kaya's time, there weren't so many beads, but the same designs could be made with porcupine quills. This contemporary Nez Perce girl has fur wrapped around her braids, a style worn in Kaya's time too. During the winter months, most Nez Perce men, women, and children wore warm clothes made out of thicker hides and wrapped warm robes around their shoulders. They also wore fur moccasins, leggings, mittens, and capes, and they tied pieces of fur around their necks. The Nez Perces saved much of the dried roots, berries, fish, and meat that they gathered in the warm months for winter. The village's store of food was shared by all families, regardless of who had done the hunting or gathering. If the hunts had been successful and the harvest plentiful, the food would last the village until spring. It was rare that villagers ran short of food. If they did, men sometimes went out on snowshoes to hunt deer or elk, and women searched out nourishing mosses to roast. Woo. Woo. Winter villages were nestled along rivers and streams in valleys beneath high hills that provided protection from the wind and snow. Snowshoes helped Nez Perces hunt more easily when snows were deep. A hunting party returns to a lodge where women are preparing a meal. Several families lived together for warmth, company, and protection in large homes made of a framework of lodge poles covered with mats of reeds and grasses. These lodges, or long houses, could be up to 20 feet to 200 feet or longer. Fires burned in a row down the middle of the lodge, and 2 families shared each fire. They piled their belongings and slept on soft mattresses of dry grass and bark along the outside walls. Smoke escaped and daylight entered through holes in the roof. In the dusky and crowded interior of the lodge, men, women, and children cooked, slept, talked, and told stories, and went about their daily work. But the winter months weren't all about hard work and lean times. They were also an important time for ceremonies. Nez Perces held one of their most important ceremonies, the medicine dances, or Wayak wheat set in the winter. 4 days or even a week at a time, family and friends gathered in a longhouse for all-night ceremonial dancing and to sing the songs taught to them by their guardian spirits. The Nez Perce believed that spirits, who usually took the form of animals or birds, granted people special powers and helped them throughout their lives. Children Kaya's age were permitted to watch the dances because one day, after their guardian spirits came to them during their vision quest, they too would take part in the dancing. Best of all, on cold winter nights, children gathered to listen to their elders tell stories and legends, often about how the animals lived before humans came. Some stories explain how certain landmarks came to be, and some were just for fun. Children like Kaya learned them all by heart. In time, they would tell them to their own children and grandchildren. Nez Perces still share these stories today. Perhaps this winter, a young Nez Perce girl is listening to this legend about sharing food, an especially important lesson during wintertime. Elders mended or wove or whittled as they told stories and legends. The glutton. A husband and wife lived together, away from many people. Each day the women dug roots for them to eat. Each day the man went hunting, but brought back nothing. One day the woman thought, I will hide today and find out why he never shoots anything. She saw the man shoot a grouse, and then another and another. That night the woman waited for him to tell her about the grouse, but he said nothing. The next day, the woman hid and waited until the man left. She found where he had thrown all the feathers and bones. He has been cheating me, the woman thought. Then she packed up and went away. When the man came home, he saw feathers and bones strewn about. She has found me out, he thought. He decided to go to where the people were gathered and look for her. The people were making merry, and the woman was dancing and surrounded by men. The husband became very angry. He took an arrow, drew back his bow, and aimed at her. She turned to him and said, It does not happen to be that I am a grouse. Her talk made him feel ashamed. He dropped his bow and went straight home. The woman stayed right there.